All right. So today's video, we're going to take a look at ChatGPT and whether it can improve my frame rate by modifying my config file for me. So I know config files sometimes might be a little intimidating, but I'm hoping that maybe ChatGPT can do it for us and we'll see kind of the results versus what I'm currently running, if it actually improves anything or not, or if you should do this manually. So I have no idea if this is going to work, but we'll take a look and we'll see and hopefully it does. That'd be pretty cool. So I have it pulled up here. I have my current configuration file pulled up. I'm using the FPS Hub and Iceman Isaac video config file that they posted recently. It works really well. It makes the game look better than how I was running it before on the basic preset. Lost a touch of FPS, only like 7 on average. So like, you know, I wouldn't say within the margin of error because it's repeatable, but um, not a lot. 7 out of 275 is almost nothing. So hopefully we can even push it even further. There is one thing like when you're diving in, at least on how I have it set up, the game flickers a little bit, like the map does when you're diving straight down and in. So hopefully we can improve that and also keep the same or even get better performance. So I have my current config file here. My Google Chrome keeps crashing. I don't know why. I'll pull that back up. We will restore. Okay. And we'll go from there. So hi, can you help me optimize my config file in Call of Duty? Increase my performance. Okay, I have it optimized already for the most part, but can I give you my file and have you tweak? Okay. So let me, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. So it doesn't know what kind of hardware I'm rocking, but shadow quality medium, dropping this to low or very low can give FPS boost. Render worker count you have it set to 8, which matches 8 core CPU. If you have hyper threading enabled, 16 threads total, you might get slightly better 1% lows by lowering it to 6 or 7. Dang, this is quite high. For you optimize. Note I have a RTX 5090 and a Ryzen 950X 3D. I want to keep my frames uncapped and the game on full screen exclusive. Got it. With that beastly setup, you're definitely aiming for max performance and minimal latency. Keeping frames uncapped and running full screen exclusive makes perfect sense. Here's how I'll approach the config. Uncapped FPS, full screen exclusive. I'll tweak the settings that still could squeeze out better frame pacing and reduce any potential bottlenecks without sacrificing quality, since your hardware can handle ultra settings easily. Plan tweaks. I'm going to lower the render count, keep video memory scale high, turn tessellation off unless you prefer it on. Shadow quality could be lowered. If you want max FPS with your rig, you could probably leave it at medium or even bump it. Keep shadow at medium. Make all other recommended changes. This is so cool. Oh my gosh. Computers are going to be so cool. I mean, they already are, but like, I mean, if this is what we have now at the beginning of AI, just imagine, 5 years from now, how quick this is all going to be. FPS cap in game, uncapped. Set to a million. Are we going to get a million FPS? I hope so. Render worker count set to 6. Video memory scale set to 0.85. Tessellation set to off. So that's the one I'm kind of like, is that going to make it look like crap with tessellation? So, okay. Download my optimized config file. Okay. It even renamed it something different. So it renamed it optimized. So it doesn't automatically overwrite it, which is awesome. So now we can save this. We're going to save it and we're going to copy this thing. So control all. Whoa. Why did we just zoom in? Oops. Okay. Control all, control C. I'm going to go in here, control all, delete this, control V. Let's make sure that I actually pasted in the right one and we can take a look at the threaded renderer count. Oop, did I miss it? Thread count. So change it to 6. So this is, we pasted the right one. We're going to save this. Okay. And we're going to go into the multiplayer file and we're going to paste that in there. Okay. File, save, bang, 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 bang. Okay. We'll open up this file again just to make sure that it went the way we wanted it to. Thread count 6. Okay. All right. Thank you. I'll let you know if it improves my game. How it runs. You want to tweak anything else? Okay. Sweet. So now we're gonna boot the game and we're going to see how it goes. I mean, this is super easy, guys. Just have AI do it for you. Oh, I dev errored before I even got in the game. That's weird. And it just kept loading. Never seen that before. There we go. Can we do it? No, I don't want to boot in safe mode. Huh. Well, do I take back what I said and say this was super easy? Let's take a look here. So this is the copy config file. Okay. This is 18,027 characters. And this is 17,995. 17,995. So that sucks. So we're missing 472 lines, 458 lines. So we're missing some stuff here. So let's go back. Let's ask ChatGPT. Okay, let's see if this 18,020 characters. Okay, that's good. We're going to change that render count back to 6 because they freaked out, but I think that's not a big deal. We'll save it. Okay, we will control all, copy. Okay, control all, get out of there, paste. Okay, file, save. Okay, then we're gonna go back in here, documents, Call of Duty, text 1, control all, paste, save. Okay, let's see if it boots. Come on, artificial intelligence. Don't do me wrong. Don't do me wrong. Okay, we're booting. Love that. Uh-oh. Come on. Maybe it just has to redo shaders or something. I'm hoping. It thinks AI is hacked into my computer and it's taken over my COD account. Also, never mind. But it makes you think, could AI install hacks for you? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna make that video. Not gonna do it. Cheating. But, I mean, can you imagine? It's like, hey, install aimbot for me. Okay, we're restarting here. I hope that it didn't change my like threaded render count or anything like that when it said that something might be corrupted. You go in, we can take a look. We're still at 6. It did add 5 characters though. So there was still something that it had missed in there that they had to put in there. So, okay. Just to make sure that everything goes how we want it to. I mean, it looks great, but just to make sure everything goes great, we're gonna redo the shaders. We're gonna kill out of the game because I just wanna make sure that everything is legit. It's taking forever. Forever. Go. Yeah, I think set to 1,000,000 might have messed it up the first time. I still want 1,000,000 FPS though, okay? All right, we're doing shaders. By the way, this is the biggest W that the 9950X3D gets over the 9800X3D is how fast the shaders go compared to the two. Those 8-core chips they just can't work as hard as this one. Okay. All right. Let's go. We'll check my graphic settings, make sure everything's good. Exclusive 240 on plus boost. VSync's off. Frame rate is unlimited. Okay. At 100, Fidelity FX cast, 70, 85. Variable rate shading on, normal, low, off, normal. Optimized. Shadow quality normal. Tessellation is off. Increase geometry, improve rendering quality. Okay, so that might make the game look a little crappier, but we will see. And then I believe we kept shadows on normal. Okay, all right. Let's just go in and we'll take a look and we'll see how she does. But I'm excited. I'm hoping this is a nice improvement. By the way, the PPI on this G27, the 4K 27-inch OLED, oh, so good. Looks so sharp. I turn up my volume here a little bit. What are you guys thinking? If you watched to this point, you think it's gonna be better performance? I just want to get rid of like the flicker when you're falling in and you see the ground flickering. I didn't have that before.
Hunt down the enemy. Precision airstrike standing by.
I mean, game's looking pretty good. Doesn't look worse, if anything. Shot it. What was that? Who goes there? Something other than an LMG, please. But yeah, I'm already at 250 for average, and that includes like where you're falling in. So maybe going with a higher core count and optimizing, because I think right now it's set to only 6 of my cores instead of 8.
LDBR ready for launch.
I think maybe we can get a bit higher with that because we changed everything else. I'm using the same amount of VRAM, around 17 gigs. Like we turned tessellation off. Like we didn't turn anything up versus how it was set before. Oh. And we're definitely like 10 or 15 FPS lower. And I'll confirm, I'll look at my stream from last night and make sure that I'm not tripping, but I
Friendly
swear I'm
loadout
always around
drops on the
265,
way.
267. Game looks awesome though, and I didn't notice any flickering, so I mean that's a W for sure.
Enemy precision airstrike. Find
Yeah.
cover.
They're on me! Watch it!
I was just like the
Got that
nastiest
moving in.
bot ever. The hell?
Not this time. That's 5.
Well, it's safe to say, guys, we are not going to higher
Load
FPS
that
than what we
drop,
had
headed your way.
before with this setup. I am going to change the render count back to 8 and see if maybe
Gas is moving in. New safe zone located.
that'll help us out. But I can't say that the game, like, looks worse. It looks good.
Stand by.
I'm using almost 20 gigs of VRAM in here. That's crazy.
Success means redeployment. Failure
That
means
is
elimination.
crazy. All right, red banana coming after you, bro.
Good job. Ready up to redeploy.
All right, guys. I think I'm gonna call this benchmark right here. We're at 245 on average, so we went down about 20 FPS doing this versus how we had it previously. So let's call the benchmark and let's look at a config file and see if we can make any further edits to get this thing running optimally. Okay, so if we go into documents, Call of Duty. Okay, so if we go into here now, let's change our thread count back to 8. Oops. Okay, so thread count's back to 8. We're gonna save that. And then there was another thing I want to see if maybe got changed. Brass. Show brass false. Okay, so that remained the same from how we had it before. We had show blood effects false. We can actually probably change that to false to make that blood. Limit blood effects to prevent excess blood stacking. Okay, true. When limiting blood effects, number of milliseconds between effects, 2000, so that's at its highest. So it kept all those other things that we had it set for previously. Speed of the cursor, custom max frames, number of AI corpses. We got AI corpses off. Okay, so we had all those other things in the right area. That's why. Okay, we'll make sure that this is applied to both, and then we should be good to reboot and test out. Maybe 8 is better for this CPU. Okay, let's see if it runs any better now. So this now should be using 8 cores instead of, or 8 threads instead of 6. Let's see if that's any better. Out of the gates, it looks like it might be. If I hit over 300 or just touching 300 here. Yep, just touched 300.
Royale.
307, 312. So yes, good to know. Make sure your
Gas is approaching
thread
your
count
position.
is
Move to
set
the safe
correctly
zone.
for your CPU.
Marking LZ. Get prepped.
But I am zooming right now. High of 320. Still get that flicker though. So I don't know what setting that is on that flicker. Maybe that's tessellation. I don't know what the hell that is.
Targets are go take
Once
them
you're on the
down.
ground, you don't really see it at all. We got much higher FPS. All that we changed was the thread count, which is awesome to see as the game looks just as good. Grab this most wanted over here. But yeah, now we're sitting at 275 right now, guys. I mean, we're on the little outskirts of the map here, but we're hitting highs of 300. Versus what we just saw.
Target.
I mean, what is
Kill
that?
enemies and
25,
secure supply
30
caches
FPS?
to close the contract on your
Increase
head.
try.
by just changing one setting? That's crazy. That's crazy, man. It's crazy talk. It's almost 10%. It's over 10%. I'm no math guy, but I think that's good.
Incoming fire. Requesting close air support.
Precision airstrike standing by.
This is Longbow 3-1, target strike inbound.
5.
Oh, he's a real player. So yeah, now we just got in some action. We saw it dip down to like 266-ish.
You've achieved the objective.
But riding on the quad, that super fast movement, it's gonna lower your FPS always a little bit.
You lost
clear.
them. Online.
Not this time.
Gas moving in.
No way.
Target.
I go back for revenge on these guys.
Got gas moving in.
Shouldn't have chowed that, but it's all good. All right, so we saw a 21 frame rate increase, and we were in a vehicle a lot more during this game. So, I mean, all equal, I bet it'd be a lot closer to 25 or a 30 FPS gain. Regardless, 20 is almost 10% difference just by changing the thread count for your CPU. So your CPU might be a little bit different. Just play around with it and see what would work for yours. So I think it's safe to say that it's a definite improvement there. All right, guys, so some pretty cool stuff there. I think the moral of the story here is, especially if you're starting from scratch, if you don't have a previously optimized game, you're going to probably see a huge improvement over what you're previously running. For me, in my experience, it didn't necessarily net us any extra FPS. I think we did get a slight performance boost, but I had already optimized my game. I'd followed Iceman Isaac and his optimization guide, which actually had me in a really great spot. So the only difference that we saw, the settings, were we turned tessellation to off, which makes technically the game not look as quite as sharp with the textures, but we did see a little bit of a performance improvement in terms of FPS. So, but for you guys at home, if you don't have an optimized game, the cool thing about using AI or ChatGPT to do it is you can tell it exactly what hardware you have, and it'll look up what the best config file or what it thinks the best config file and the best settings are for you, and then change those settings to help you out. So I hope this helps, guys. Let me know down in the comments. I'll be really interested to see, are you going to use something like this? Are you going to, change your config file with AI or with ChatGPT? And if you are, let me know how it goes. Did it go super smoothly? Did you run into hiccups like we did at first? Were you able to just pump it in there and get a better experience? So be interested to see what you guys are able to achieve by doing something like this. And then I'll also leave my config file linked down in the description. So if you guys want to use my exact file that you saw in this, you can just copy and paste it right in there. And hopefully that helps you guys net it in there. You are running a different set of hardware, different CPU, different GPU. You might need to tweak those settings to be tailored more towards what your CPU and GPU is. So we saw a huge difference between running our renderer worker count at 6 versus running at 8. I mean, it was 21 FPS difference. So that's nothing to sneeze at. That's a huge difference for just tweaking one setting. And that's not even a graphic setting. That's just how much of your CPU is targeted to be utilized when rendering the game. So anyways, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you get subscribed for more stuff coming your way. And with that, guys, we'll see you in the next one.